Let's create some cottage thrift flips using a beautiful shade of blue. Hello everybody and welcome into Emily's Upcycled Home. Well, on the last video I showed you guys some of these pieces that I did the batch method on using that leftover paint we used. So we're going to take some of these pieces and transform them with a cottage vibe. If you missed that video, I'll have it down in the description for you all. So this was just a simple wooden candle holder. I think I might have purchased from Hobby Lobby. I went ahead and added a wood round and of course came in with that beautiful shade of French linen by Fusion. And that paint also has a little bit of texture added with some baking soda. Now with my gardenia by Dixie Belle, we're going to go ahead and give this a dry brush technique here, very lightly coating. Remember, you could come in heavy and layer your piece as you go. You don't want to come in heavy-handed or with a lot of paint on your brush. I'm just going to continue to layer back and forth, up and down, changing my brush strokes until I like the look of the piece. And as you go, you guys, you can go ahead and add deeper tones of white as you build that texture and volume there. So we're going to come in with the Clementine IOD book here, and you can purchase that with my affiliate link down in the description. And I'm going to pick out this transfer here, and we are going to add that to the top of our front of our candle holder there. Around the edges, I'm going to go ahead and snip so that I have an easier time rolling that image around that round surfaces. And when I do that, I tend to have a little easier time adding on that transfer because that paper folds and bends with me. Go ahead and get your transfer tool and rub on your transfer just like any other transfer, working those images down into your surface, making sure that you get all the way to the end of the surface of your transfer. And if any time your image is not properly sealed to your piece, just go ahead and lay your transfer back down and rub that piece once more. I'm going to go ahead and work this through. Once I have that off, I'll use my finger and just kind of rub that image even further and then come in with the back of my transfer sheet there and go ahead and start burnishing my image even further for a proper seal. Now this is where we're at, you guys. Because this is such a bright image against all that layers, I'm going to tone it down with a little bit of dry brush over the image as well, giving it a light coverage here. Now once I have that in, you can go ahead and wipe off any excess, blend it a little further, and then with my brown antique wax brush and a little bit of clear wax, we're going to come in and add some little depth to our edges here with that brown. I'm going to go ahead and layer that up, moving into those edges all around the base, into our candlestick as well, working through those raised areas onto our piece, darkening those corners. Then I'll go ahead and layer thoroughly throughout the candle holder, and then here it is, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Just some simple paint, a transfer from IOD, and a wood round. Transform this piece into a little bit of a English or French cottage. You guys let me know which one this is for your home. Let me know what you think of this piece down in those comments. Come stop by Emily's Upcycle Boutique over on Facebook to shop any of my items. So here's another candle stand that I use personally in my craft room for my twine here. This is just floral wire that I love to use over and over in my crafts. So we're going to make a little stand for this. And I think I'm going to add this extra little piece on top, just giving it a different look. I'm going to once again layer in that white color gardenia by Dixie Belle onto our piece, going a little bit deeper on this piece, exposing more of that white paint and hiding more of that blue. Come in with my heat gun to thoroughly dry this because you guessed it, we're going to come back with a transfer from that Clementine pack once more. These are so beautiful, vibrant images, you guys, that I just love. But I picked out this like cabbage rose here at the base. I think it's actually a cabbage, but we're going to go ahead and use that. And I like the tones of that blue against that deeper purple color. So we're going to layer this up once again using our transfer tool to maneuver that. And then I go ahead and trim in around the pole area just so that I can work that transfer around the base of our piece. And I trim off any excess little pieces, save them just in case I need to cover something up, and I eventually do with some leaves and some little foliage there, where I come back in with those little transfer pieces to cover up some of the pieces that were not covered. So I'm going to go ahead and continue maneuvering this and try to help this along with my hands. You know, sometimes it's a little difficult to get in the transfers on a different surface, especially when you have to work around that base of that candlestick up there. So I went ahead and layered that as best as I could around the base and came in with that same white wax or clear wax and antique wax along the base to age it up. And this, I'm going to kind of jimmy a little finial holder here to place into the top. So I went ahead and added a little dowel in there and a little dowel cap where I am going to glue that together so that I have a place for that cap to stick to. So all I'm going to do is cover in that little dowel hole, and I am going to add that stem to the inside and hold that in place until that glue dries. And then once I wipe off all that excess, we're going to come back and add some glue into the center of our candle holder here. But we're going to put that dowel cap to the base. And you see where I'm creating that little stem where I'm going to put my, I think that's a lamp finial, you guys, my lamp finial over the top of that, and that's going to hold it in place. I'm going to hold that as is and then add some extra glue all around that edge. And this is me just working on the fly here, you guys. If this doesn't work, I'm going to have to figure something else out. There is a small gap where my finial and my stand sit together, so I went ahead and added a little bow just to camouflage that, you guys. Now I needed that cap, that finial, to come off and on as I rethreaded this or added another spool to it. It didn't quite fit the way I wanted, so I go ahead and add my scissors back in, some of my beautiful roses that I just love from Temu, and then some greenery. Now those scissors, they need some help here in this arrangement. But you guys, I think this is a cute, adorable little piece. And I just love to create these cute little stands from anything that I find in my stash. Let me know what you think of this one. Shop the Fusion IOD and Dixie Belle products with that affiliate link to Julie's Designs and Signs, as well as check out some beautiful papers by Recycled Treasures. Links in the description. For our next project, we're going to come in with this Hobby Lobby piece that I picked up during my birthday month, and I'm going to come in with Dixie Belle's Dusty Blue, which is this beautiful shade of blue, and we are going to cover up this whole image. I'm going to work it into the edges of the frame, but look how beautiful that blue tone is. You can leave this as is with that blue tone, but like I said, I love to layer on my channel. I like to show you guys different techniques and layering process here, so we are going to do exactly that with this shade of blue. So once I have this all fully onto our piece here, working it into all those little detailing of the corners and edges of the frame into those little beads, we're going to come in and start layering them as well. I also cover the full image as well, since I'll be replacing it with a different look. So I want to come in and layer some texture onto this, and I'm going to use this texture paste like you get from Amazon, as well as this stencil. I will look for both of those links for you all and put them down in the description for you. And all you do is layer up that texture paste onto your piece using any of your stencils you like. I just picked up this swirl pattern because I want that swirl pattern going on in the background as we layer up all these pieces here. So just go ahead and go around your frame or whatever surface you want, adding the detail that you want with this textured paste. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of extra as well around the edges, just to build in a little bit more texture to our piece. Now I know this looks like a hot mess, but once again, you guys, trust the process of this piece. And I don't know if you notice, as you put the heat on it, the texture paste kind of bubbles and it gives you this raised look to it. So we're coming back in with Dixie Belle's Gardenia here. And I'm going to layer up that white back into our piece, going over those raised areas as well. And I go ahead and blend in throughout the whole piece, including the surface where we're going to add a different picture. Just blend and work the colors that you pick for your project, and I promise you this layering look will come out beautiful at the end. Once we have everything layered up with that white, we're going to go ahead and heat this up and dry everything that's going on here. Now, once I have this thoroughly dry, we'll come in and go ahead and add a new picture to the center. So I did print out this bunny image. You guys, I'm also offering this on a muslin cloth that you guys can make pillows out of in my boutique at Emily's Upcycled Boutique. Now, I went ahead and picked my Mod Podge, and the Mod Podge that I had was not great. I was just trying to grab whatever I had. I came in with a French linen color around the edges, just layering all that up. And you guys, it was a little bit of a hot mess. The Mod Podge wasn't sticking the way I needed to, was old. So I went ahead and ripped off that paper, and then I come back in with that French linen. I go ahead and layer it back up. Now, if you notice, it's going to give me this worn look. That paper is just going to add more texture to it. So we're going to go with that. And I am going to add some heat once again to dry up all this surface. And then I'm going to come back with that image again. But this is on a kind of a sublimation print where you use on fabrics. Is it on a laser print? I'll go ahead and link this paper also in that description for you guys. I am going to rip it as I did my paper, but you notice it's a little bit of a plastic layer on top. So just go with that. Just rip it as a normal paper. Then you go ahead and take off your image, which is on this piece of like a plastic material. And I am going to iron it on just like I would iron on a shirt, using a piece of parchment paper and my cute little iron here. Once again, you can get all this on Amazon. I'll have those linked in the description for you guys. Went ahead and iron on that image onto our piece. It's not just for shirts, you guys. Use these pieces however you want. And then we'll come back in with that French linen color, once again by Dixie Belle, and layer that up. And then the layering process continues, guys. Just layering up some more white to bring in that design that we added with our raised paste here. And then I want this kind of to look like a messy art piece, a very weathered look, very layered look, and something that has some age to it. So I'm going to continue layering on this white throughout the piece, and you're going to see me also go over the bunny a little bit. And then because of this line is too harsh, we go ahead and blend it down into that picture as well. And you guys just continue adding your layers of paint to this. I go ahead and go around the frame again, adding a little bit more white because we want some of those highlights of blue, but we don't want it so much blue as well. But we're going to continue layering on that piece, coming in with a full our heat gun. And then after I got that all dry, I'm going to layer some more little filigree marks with that texture paste along the edges of our art piece. And you're going to see that come out too. And once I get this dried up and that paste raises again, we'll come back in and layer in some other pieces. Now, if you guys don't want to use this paste and you guys have some baking soda with your paint, you can make a thick textured paste and then use that as well as your raised stencil look. Throughout the process, you see me just picking up the piece and looking at it. You guys let me know what you think of it so far. I decide I want to come in with a little bit of highlight, so I go ahead and grab my gilding wax from Dixie Belle as well. But first, we're going to layer up some age to this piece with our brown wax. Once again, I come in with that antique wax from Behr, and I go ahead and very lightly feather that into all our piece. And if you notice, I did make sure that I offloaded my brush. We're going to come into that frame as well, just working that in. And you guys can always come in with some clear wax to help maneuver this dark wax as well, or antique wax, just to give it a little bit more of a consistent look throughout your piece, and it helps spread that dark wax. Come back in with some Dixie Belle Gold. Actually, this is a bronze gilding wax from Dixie Belle, and I go go around the edges, around the detailing, and come also into that frame, just layering it up with my finger and working that in. And you guys, I think this piece came out amazing. All that layered, even with the hot mess of the paper messing up, and that was just user error. But you guys, look at this paper, use iron-on method, and I just love how it looks on this piece. I love the detail and the texture that we added. But you guys, once again, let me know what you think of this piece down in that description, and don't forget to pick up those surfaces from Hobby Lobby, especially when they're on sale. If you enjoy my content, I would love for you guys to be part of my YouTube family by hitting that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Just gonna show you some few things that I added new into the boutique. We have this beautiful scripture strips of muslin fabric ribbon for you all in the boutique, as well as some fabric labels that I use with that same paper to give you these beautiful images, all done on LaserJet printer. You have a variety to choose from, and there's that cute bunny we used today on a fabric piece of muslin. Also, I'm offering these beautiful rustic aprons. One size fits all, but check out that boutique and let me know what you guys thought of all these projects using those different shades of blue. And don't forget to leave me a comment down below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe on your way out. I love to hear your feedback, so leave me a comment down in that area. And don't forget, you guys, those affiliate links are there for you guys to use to Julie's Designs and Signs, as well as recycled treasures. I hope you guys all have a beautiful day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, friends.